Hello everybody in the internets. Now this video is Comics Part 2, as you can tell by the title that's probably above my head. This video is going to be different than the previous videos in the sense that they will be more about one book as opposed to just a shelf. I did this as basically some criticism from people and some fairly good criticism, so I'm going to go ahead and go with that. So to start, we're going to be doing one book that I kind of spent some time thinking about which one I wanted to go with first, and I decided to start with The Umbrella Academy by Gerard Way and Gabriel Ball, with an introduction by Grant Morrison, according to the back of this thing. And as well as, I also have the second trade, called Dallas, with an introduction by Neil Gaiman. I felt like telling you that. This is a really great series. If you... Well, let me get into it a little bit, actually, before I get into that. The Gerard Way, you've probably heard of him. He's from My Chemical Romance. And Gabriel Ball, you probably haven't heard of him. You'll see his art towards the end. This series is really one of those comics that are just hard to explain. Like, it's really an abundance of originality, which is strange because I'm mentioning My Chemical Romance in this sentence, or well, in this train of thought. Not that they're just not horribly original. But this book is. This book follows a family, kind of a Fantastic Four-like family, except there's like 8 of them, that are basically trained to be superheroes because they are born with strange powers, each one of these childs. The book starts off with, you know, them being basically this alien who's also a, if I had to give him something, probably Bill Gatesian-like entrepreneur that goes out in the world and pretty much gets all these kids and that are born at the exact same time, all of them strange, some of them very strange, some of them very normal to the human eye, and he takes them all and pretty much adopts them all and trains them to be superheroes and use their powers. So up until this point, that sounds pretty unoriginal, but when you factor in the fact that the Bill Gates guy is actually an alien in disguise, and that his family of adopted children he treats like crap, and that they have a lot more realistic problems than the Fantastic Four ever did. And not surprising, it's Gerard, you know, in my opinion, it's not too much of a jump to consider, like, oh, emotional family, Gerard Way, hey, that makes sense. But this is really great. Each one of these characters are just, you know, there's like a kind of a Batman archetype in a way, and not all of them have easy lives. A lot of them, they've been through divorce, they've been through addiction. There's one that the guy's still on drugs. There's just all these great characters all around. I'm not going to go into too much detail of the actual storyline. It's one of those books where you should just definitely pick it up and give it a look at, and you'll see the art and you can see that as well. But this series, you know, as much as it's about superheroes and things like that, and that's definitely an entry if you're not too much into the indie stuff. But at the same time, if you're a new person to comics, you'll like this because scratch that, there's so much originality in this book, so much just different about this book that makes it worth reading. The characters, the villains, everything's just out of left field almost all the time. It's not even really like anything that you'll probably pick up and read and just say, oh, it's like this. It's not like anything except for maybe kind of the Fantastic Four a la Gerard Way. Sorry about the strange interrupt there. I just realized I was running on the end of my rope. But anyway, going back to these two books, I'm really just talking about the first one here, not the second. Alright, let's redo that. Okay. The series is a great jumping on point. It's one of those books that really you can give to someone who doesn't normally read comics but like those kind of absurd stories and that are probably really into things like, you know, probably things like Invader Zim. It almost has that kind of humor, that kind of just wacky, like, what the fuck humor, but in a more mature sense. At times it's really hilarious, at other times it's kind of heart-wrenching and just intensely mature. I guess what I'm getting at with both of these books is that they are as much as I'm mentioning Gerard Way, you could have honestly, I could have said anybody, no name anybody, and you would probably, just based on this book, be like, this is the greatest person ever, because he really does just write, and just the imagination that goes into this book is incredible. And like I was saying about the people who, you know, this is definitely a book I would probably, you know, go to Barnes & Noble. You'll definitely find it there. I've seen it at a lot of different comic book stores and bookstores even, as it's just been very award-winning and very popular as well. Go it and give it a try, see if you like it. If you like that, you know, kind of absurd humor, you want something very different from your comics, but still something in the vein of superheroes, I would definitely give Umbrella Academy a try. Now, I'm going to show you some of the artwork and the page layouts from Gabriel Ball, and probably you'll see some of the ridiculousness that goes on in here. If you guys want to know any more about it, just let me know, or just do what I did, Wikipedia it. Oh, and one cool note for anyone who's a fan, a really big fan of the art, or the cover artist from Fables. The actual issues, which are interspersed in here, the cover pages for the issues, is done by a gentleman named, let's find it, James Jean, and he does all the Fables page artwork, and they're gorgeous, and I always kind of figured it was him, but now I know it's him, so. But I'll show you those, and I will show you some pages. Ciao, Internet.